Residents in devastated neighborhoods like this one have told us that they are preparing and expecting to have no power for at least another month. And with no running water and no cell phone service, people in these areas are facing some daunting challenges ahead. Dana?
Elaine, you just said no water, no cell phone service, no power maybe for a month. I feel silly asking this, but is there anything that has improved there? You've been in the Keys for a few days now.
You know, that's a really good question. The answer to that is yes. We did see where we are here in Little Torch Key, I should say in Big Pine Key, which is the next key over, semi-trucks basically bringing in cases of water and cases of MREs, meals ready to eat, some food for people. And at one point we saw an Army helicopter actually airdrop some supplies as well. So you have to think, when this storm hit on Sunday and the power was out, this notion of people hunkering down, people staying where they were and surviving the storm, that was sort of a victory for folks. But now the realization is setting in when you don't have access to the basics like running water and sanitation needs and water to drink, those conditions can make your life absolutely difficult to even just exist. In this heat, Dana, I have to tell you, it is impossible really to exert much effort at all without being exhausted because of the high humidity levels. Humidity here is like 90%, and it was 93 degrees today when we were out with the FEMA officials. So imagine some of these folks, they don't have fuel for their cars, they can't go anywhere, the gas stations aren't open, there's no stores, barely any stores that have these supplies. It is quickly becoming a desperate situation, but there have been slowly some signs of improvement.
And obviously those are the hopes that in the days to come that other things improve as well. In your piece, you talked with the search and rescue teams. Are there people that are still in danger?
You know, that's a good question, and I think the answer to that is it's unclear right now. I can tell you that so far, at least with California Task Force 1, that's the group of folks that we embedded with, they haven't found anyone yet. And when this storm was approaching, the warnings from Governor Rick Scott were absolutely dire, that it's believed a lot of those folks here in the Keys who in the past perhaps would have decided to stay, they heeded those warnings and they actually evacuated the islands, which is why a lot of these homes around don't have people in them, which is a good thing. But there is still a number of there are still a number of regions yet to cover. This is Little Torch Key, and that group, California Task Force 1, is going to be making their way slowly over to Key West. There's another group in Key West that's going to be heading east, and eventually here in the coming days, they plan to hopefully have everyone listed who is still missing, who is accounted for. Those folks who were planning on sheltering in place, they have those names that they'll be entering into the database, and all that info goes to the local officials here, so then they can basically take the baton and do additional welfare checks as needed. So it's not quite clear yet whether there are perhaps still some people yet to be found, but so far, at least with the group that we've been with, there's been good news in that there have been no casualties.
We hope there is more of that. Elaine Quijano, great reporting from you and your crew. We hope you guys can get cool a little bit somewhere, at least get some water. Thanks for the reporting. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Dana.